so hard to have favorite children in terms of my work, right? Because I always say that my best work is my next one. You can't really hold on to when you were at a certain level. For me, it feels like if I put any image on a pedestal, like this is me at my best, and it kind of limits where I'm going, and it's very hard to say this is the one.
Yeah, and also I'm curious, how did you then make the move from studying motion picture and being involved in motion pictures, film, to still pictures? Because I know most of your work is amazing still images. So how do you then make that jump?
Your boss at Statics, bro. Yo.
I think it was in varsity, I was trying to make extra money on the side, right? To go partying and also just to get access to all the celebrities and personalities that I wanted to meet. At that time, I'm like, okay, cool. What's the one way to do that? And the easiest way to meet people was to go to events and photograph events. So I started off as a videographer, shooting a lot of parties and clubs and stuff. So
Clever.
I would do a video for the night, and then it would go out the next morning, right? And then I was like, okay, cool. This is really cool, but it takes a toll on your body, right?
Of course.
And I was like, okay, cool.
Listen,
what's the
gigging
next
is not
thing that I
easy,
want to
eh?
do? It's not. And I was like, look, videographers make a certain amount of money, but as a photographer, I can make a bit more because I charge by the hour, and then I get paid by the hour. Videographers normally get to charge by the event or by the day, right? Compared to photographers who charge by the hour. And I was like, you know what? I really enjoy doing stills, and I had started working with different personalities, and I was like, okay, cool. Let me just solely focus on doing stills alone, right? And that really kind of drove me to learn more about how stills are produced, from lighting. I spent a lot of time on YouTube. I already had the eye to shoot from a videographer's point of view. I already understood how cameras work anyway. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's just transition to just shooting stills and then try and make the most money out of it.
How's that transition from shooting a motion picture to static? I can assume it can't be that easy of a transition. Did you by any chance do cinematography as well?
Yeah. I actually did study cinematography for the first 2 years when I was doing my degree.
Does that make it easier?
It does make it easier, because what you get to understand is how cameras function, right? From an f-stop, a shutter point of view, because then all you do is just reducing it from shooting 25 frames per second to 1 frame per second, and that's just a shutter click instead of pressing the record button.
No idea what you're saying. Love it. Absolutely love it. So lost in this conversation, nodding my head, agreeing. No idea. We need a GPS to navigate this one.
Nah, it's all about, because in a second for every film, it's 25 frames per second that you're seeing. It's 25 stills that you're seeing. But I chose to do 1 still per second, just one picture.
Knowing what you know about the industry now, about your art, about your work, your experiences, do you think that school was absolutely, like literally absolutely important? Or do you sometimes think that, talent alone would have gotten you where you are today?
I think it's a bit of both, right? When I started, I didn't know anything about the industry. I just knew how to take pictures with a point and shoot, right? And when I got into the school, I learned a bit about editing and how the industry works. And you kind of meet people in the industry who also guide you. You've got lecturers who show you what to do. You learn a bit. And then I also think that talent alone can also get you where you need to be. I feel like if I had invested myself in a mentor, someone who I knew who could show me, how to approach things. If it's in you, it's in you. It's innate in you.
100%.
So you always know what to do. You just need someone to, activate that fire in you, and then you're like, okay, cool. I've got it. I know what to do and how to approach it, and then you go.
Quickly, would you say you've become a standard for celebrity, like almost some certification of some sort, like a rite of passage? Because almost everyone needs an Austin Malema snap. Otherwise, you're no celebrity. Get out of here.
I think that's funny. I think it has kind of become a thing, but it was also a thing for me, because when I was growing in the industry, I was checking off boxes of people who I've wanted to photograph, or people I grew up watching on TV, or grew up watching or hearing on radio. So it became a thing where I was like, you know what? I really want to photograph this person. I want to photograph this person. And it grew into a thing where, I think I was one of the people in the forefront of personality, being a photographer to a personality, that it became a thing, right?
It is a thing now, yeah.
It is a thing, but we just happened to be like somewhere in between the guys who were ahead of us and then the guys who changed the trajectory of the industry.
And you did.
Right? And
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
We were able to, get pictures to go out as quick as we could on award shows.
Tell me that. Let's talk about that turnaround time. Because I think that a lot of people struggle with editorial, right? And getting stuff out on time, where you've done a photo shoot, and a lot of photographers, a lot like graphic designers, they don't give you your things on time. See, so you managed to get it right.
Yeah, we did. I think for me, one of the big things was trying to, just creating a new line of photography, because what we see on award shows was everybody would shoot the images and they'd only come out on Sunday. And I was like, guys, we've got cameras that have Wi-Fi. Why can't we just shoot them now
100%.
and then get them to the people? But that's also a problem, because today I hate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You're
I
going
do.
to tell us more about it in a bit. Listen, we're approaching top of the hour. You're a dad also, right?
Yes, I am.
You love kids, right?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. We hang out with kids every morning here at 959 Breakfast. And starting his day at 959, one of South Africa's greatest photographers, Austin Malema, hanging out with us in studio. He has worked with many local stars, the likes of Connie Ferguson, Lute Love, Casper Nyovest, Nasty C, Tucson Bedu, all the way to Travis Scott and Drake. Is there anyone you have a photo crush on?
Oh, man. I think this would have been a better question, DOA.
What's DOA?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Yeah.
Oh, dead or alive.
Yeah.
What's dead or alive? What am I missing?
Like he can choose from people who've passed on.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can. You still can.
You still
DOA.
can.
Photo crush.
Locally.
Unlimited. Just
Okay,
the world.
unlimited, just the world.
Yeah, just the world.
Man, I wish I came up in the time of Big Kwaito time. Mendoza would have been like on that list.
Yeah.
Locally. Internationally, that's a hard one.
What's that rock star guitarist guy? Who passed away? America.
When did it pass?
Black guy.
There's many. Oh, Jimi Hendrix.
I would love a Jimi Hendrix for you.
I would have, like doing the big shows, like internationally, would have been like one of the big things. But I think alive right now would probably be Jay-Z, even though I've already photographed him, but I'd like to do a portrait.
That's my thing. Studio portrait
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
100%.
Like,
100%.
You
something,
like how
something intimate.
You like the features of him or the icon Jay-Z?
I think the icon Jay-Z.
Yeah, the icon.
And also it allows you to have a conversation that you could help drive the picture.
Yeah, true.
So it would allow you like that 5-10 minutes with him to be able to photograph him the way that you see him. I think that would have been a great thing for me.
Almost similar to this guy who has an episode in this creative docu-series on Netflix. I'm not sure if you've seen Abstract.
Yes, I have.
Have you
Platon.
seen
He's one of my
Platon?
favorite photographers.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
I watched that
Platon.
episode over and over again,
Oh
as
my
well as
God.
Hatter for Nike.
Yeah.
I went to those and I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind, obsessed. The way he does portraits.
There's no photographer who has photographed most head of state while they are presidents than
100%.
Platon Anatoa.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's like the presidential.
He's the guy
the
that
go-to.
time goes to.
He's the go-to.
to
Whoa.
photograph any world leader, like
Wow.
literally.
And I thought time waits for no man.
You should have seen how he photographed Putin.
Yeah. And
me,
when,
that was-
when he explains the story of
Yeah.
how Putin tried to intimidate him
Yeah.
during the session.
Yeah.
And there's an entire thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't cower.
And he doesn't cower to anyone.
no.
Like
It's
he-
the lens, man. It's the lens.
Oh,
the
man.
thing is, the lens breaks all barriers.
or barriers between them.
Yeah. The lens actually intimidates Putin at the end of the day.
Wow.
Yeah, calls him
You
to
should
order
watch
a
it.
little bit. You
I'll
should watch
check it out.
Beautiful series. It's called Abstract. I think I've watched it about 7 times
I've
now.
watched every single time.
Yeah.
I've got go-to documentaries that I watch in terms of life and just so every year I start with Defiant Ones. and then Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to creativity, there's a docuseries that I watched in Varsity. It's called Everything is a Remix. It just shows you that nothing is original under the sun.
True.
Like literally, it's
it only
things are
has
remixed.
one opportunity to be
be an
original,
original,
at
yes.
inception.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you're not
Really not an
reinventing the
original.
wheel.
Yeah.
It's not.
You're
Yeah,
literally
100%.
combining things to make the next original.
But here's your original, your son, super smart, genius, that one, right?
Like,
he's starting to play
he's
with
so
daddy's
smart.
lenses.
Yeah, he is.
For real?
He quite enjoys photography. Like
Or mommy scripts. Is it more mommy scripts and
it's
daddy's
always
lenses?
it's weird where I'm like, what do you want to be when you grow up? One day he wants to be a photographer because of daddy, and then one day he wants to be an actor. So he's got a best of both. Like I really hope he chooses wisely.
Also, you and his mom look like siblings, and it shows in your child. You guys look alike. It's
I've
insane.
never seen
Yes.
Wow.
His parents
But I
are
want to,
different.
when they're in love, that starts to happen
Yeah,
when people
yeah,
morph
yeah, yeah.
into
This
one.
is ages ago. Like my son is 7 now.
Yeah,
so
it's ages
it
ago, but
took-
you guys
yeah.
still have that. You've got that sibling
I
thing
think
going
it's
on.
him. He's chosen. I'm gonna confuse everybody. I'm gonna look like both of
Both
them.
of them, yes. When you look to the left, you see mom. You look to the right, you see dad.
That's it.
So let's talk about your other passion, teaching and lecturing, because I know
Yes.
that you really love to school and hand over the baton and share information.
Yes. I think for me, like I explained it earlier, when I was an editor, I came to learn that there's a lot of other people who are, more creative. I'd say on the pulse compared to me, right? Because the older you grow, the more you become disposable in a way in this industry because you're more expensive and people want people who are more agile, less expensive. And, when I learned that there are younger people who are more agile and better at certain things than me, I chose to be the guidance behind them. Like, Brandon was one of the first people that I did this with. He's a videographer who I started giving all my edit work to because I knew that he had a better eye. And what I would do is I just advise him on how the approach should be. The same that I was doing when I was at AFDA. I really enjoyed, because when I'm good at something, it's always better to view it from a different perspective. And you also just help shape the future. And I already do that in terms of my team and, other people that I speak to. There's always people who want you to be a mentor in a way. And I also have my own mentors that I learn from. And it's always better to give back. Like, I speak to people about photography and just help them around the business of photography.
100%.
Because if you've got the info, what are you going to do with it? Because if you die with it, it helps no one, but you can help both other people while you still have the opportunity to do so.
It's that thing that they say, you can give a man a fish, but if you teach him how to fish, you've changed his life forever.
That's
Are
the
you
truth.
expensive? Are you affordable? What's happening here? Is affordability relative here? Where's Alam? Yeah?
I think
Tell us.
affordability is a theory of relativity.
Love it.
If you feel like you can do it, definitely. I feel like there's a perception that I am this expensive person, and I want to dispel that.
There's two perceptions. You're arrogant and you're expensive.
I don't know about the arrogance.
Yeah.
No ways.
You don't seem
Yeah.
arrogant.
No
You
ways.
sound
No,
arrogant.
he's chilled. He's very chilled. But
Very
there's that
chilled.
perception.
Yeah, there is that perception. But oh my god.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the expensive part, I don't think so, because a lot of people, just because of who I am, already create this perception that I'm expensive, but nobody ever comes and says, hey Austin, I'd like to find out how much you cost before deciding that I'm expensive. Like I speak to people and they're like, oh, you're so expensive. I'm like, but you guys have never asked for a quote or anything.
True story.
But you just, like, because of I'm Austin Malema,
You assume on the basis of the name and
That's it.
the work that you've done and, word on the street and what you hear in passage talk.
Yeah.
So, Austin, on wrapping up at 7:30, we've really got to call this one a close. Is there one celebrity photo shoot you've turned down and why?
oh my word.
Because, these things do happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll turn down a Dineo because your schedule is like hectic, or you lie about your schedule and you just don't like Dineo's energy. You're like, that one's gonna crack my lenses. Hell no, this lens is expensive.
I think it's fair to say I won't name anybody, but I have turned down a couple of people because of experience, right? I think one thing people don't understand is you can be as great as you are in your in your art or your craft, but if you're working with someone who doesn't make it easy, it doesn't flow, like it doesn't work, right? I always say that everywhere I work, it has to be a synergy thing. Like whether it's an event, whether it's a shoot with someone, if I don't feel like I want to do it and it's not working, it's not going to work
100%.
out. If I don't have the synergy or I'm not happy to do something, it's not going to work out. So I try protect my energy by turning certain things down because it's not about the money. It's just about the energy and the people that you work with.
Enjoying the work.
Yeah. Enjoying the work. We were having this conversation last week with Sol that it's not every bag you must say yes to.
True.
Some bags are a healthy no, and that's okay. He's a great gent, really, really, really approachable, really lovely, really spectacular at his craft, passionate about sharing information and leaving doors open for those that come behind him. His name is Austin Malema. Thank you for starting your day on 959.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.